In progress. Okay.
Okay, should I go to the charts and go back to this spot and check it out?
No, you can hit play.
Oh yeah.
So now you can scroll back and see what happened.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, so this one, weekly, obviously we can't do anything with that information. It's too big. But is the 4 hour still on?
It was still on, yeah, but the level was much higher up.
Correct. So let's scroll on this one again. Scroll back. Where was the level? Where is this level here? Scroll
I
back
don't know.
more. No, this level. This one.
6,300.
No. The one where it goes up and rolls.
Oh, okay.
That's the closest one to when you wanted to trade. It went a little bit later.
Oh.
So you have to see, okay, well, if my 15 failed, what was I supposed to see?
Okay. It looks like this might have been a 1 hour pullback.
Yeah, just hit. We can't change time frame in this, right? Yeah, we cannot.
I don't think we can. I can open it up.
At least it records it, but you know, if you are able to put your time frames closer,
yeah,
then in the future you can just hit the play button and then see more data. It's like, yeah, this is also a cool way to do it.
Oh yeah, okay.
Unless you have a video here instead. If you have a video here, then you don't have a chance to put this.
Yeah, I started doing the videos on Vimeo, and then so I can have this picture up, and then I post the video over here at the bottom.
That's also okay. Okie dokie.
Okay, so how should we move forward with this one?
So this one is not
Just
good.
said that. Yeah.
Okay, but you know why, right? It's not good.
Yes, so I was 15-minute died, 4 hour was still alive, but I was not at the 4 hour level.
Yeah, so this is what day? 16th of January. December. Okay, pull it up on your screen on the 60 minutes.
I wonder if I still have it over here, maybe.
Oh wow.
Oh, yeah, here it is.
I think that's the best use of layouts I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. I'm paying for this, so I'm gonna use it.
So that's why my trading view is slow. You're hogging up the server, man. it's you with your each trade and Tony with a API request all day long.
Yeah.
Okay, here. So it fizzled out here, and then a 60 also fizzled out here. So yeah, it's going for the 4 hour. So we have to find what is this area? Why did it stop there? Can you zoom out a bit? Put a horizontal level here, horizontal line. Yeah. Now let's see, what is that?
Looks like a higher time frame.
No, it was there on the 4 hour. If you go back, let's just use this area. But I'm surprised he didn't come up to here. Okay, fair enough. He used the closest SNR after this thing popped.
Okay, so this one would show legs on the 60.
Correct. So, okay, we can't see anything here, so you'd have to go to the 60 to figure it out, and then 60 what are you supposed to take out on the 60?
On the 60, we're supposed to take out this guy who made the last high.
Good. Do I need to go lower?
There's not a lot of space, so I think no.
Okay. So then what do we need next?
So it takes him out. We need our consolidation. I think that happens in this zone, even though it's a small one. And then that pops. And then we get a test after that. But the test came after it reached like a buyer zones. So it's a bit scary.
Yeah, then this is like a guaranteed stop loss because this could look like it's leaving here.
Yeah.
By trying to, the nearest SNR, it looked like it could leave from there. So, and it was leaving, and then the news came out and it destroyed everything.
Yeah.
It was a big news, that one.
Yeah, that's true.
So
maybe we could have got the slip and slide entry.
Yeah. Take out this guy, right? And then the 60 let's goes of it here. That's where the 60 let's go, right? There's no power left in there.
Yeah.
No. We need to see the test come up. I don't see an entry on this. The entry is much later. The slip inside is how would you know to investigate this?
Once it starts coming up in so many candles, instead of just one leg, maybe because previously it covered this distance very quickly, and then now it's taking its time to make a higher high.
Okay, so yeah, you can do that, but then how do you know to stay on this time frame and not go down to a 15 to see the test?
Yeah, I'd go down to the 15, and
yeah,
so maybe get stopped out. Should we
correct.
try the 15?
Then you would have the same issue I had today. There would be a stop loss on this one, and then it goes slightly higher, and then it goes.
Yeah.
Because today is my which one was it? USD Swiss did that, right?
Yeah.
They just did one extra little test for half a pip, and then no 5R plus, just -1R.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so no safe entry on this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, that's fine. So we have no way to find out that the correlation or that this was the best pair or not, but let's say starting February, I'm going to start assuming you picked the right ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been trained on how to do that now with the quality of the breach and.
Yeah, and in your posts, every now and then put in screenshots of the group that you're monitoring.
Okay.
Because
yeah, I had started doing that.
Group looks like, I think you've seen my post something like that before.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that I'll do that going forward.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to another one.
Do you also want to do some trades, Ali, so I don't take up all the time?
No, I'm just there's a question I have in mind, but I think I'll hold on to it. I'll ask Naveen later. I'm towards the end of the call, just to confirm a few things. But please carry on for now.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
we're just practicing, so if you want, you can ask that now, because my energy levels are like
Is that high or getting low?
I started off very, very high, but then
Mm.
I'm suddenly feeling tired a lot and yawning and stuff. So like, I'm trying to stay
Yeah.
alive here.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. The question I am thinking right now is, so at the moment we are,
Okay.
say, talking more about, okay, this area preferably coming to a level
Yeah.
which, in this case, it's slightly short of a nicer level, but it's
Mhm.
touching something on the left on the higher time frame on the 4 hours.
Yeah.
And then in the past we were at the moment we were saying, okay, well, let it come to the level, and then wherever your last wherever your last buyer is based on that pullback, let the last buyer get challenged, let it get some sort of a hold, which is a test in our case. So that would be a good sign, and then a pop out of it.
Yeah.
Now, if I was to, and that's all good. If I was to compare with what we were doing in the past, which is give me a refresh, which is let it come to the area. It's a bit steep, but and then some sort of a push down, hold, and then a refresh. Even though we don't have a last buyer, then are we still saying that if we have a last buyer and a refresh comes in, that's really good, and the refresh takes it out? But if we don't have a last buyer, then how are we dealing with the previous refreshes that we were talking about? Are we
Okay.
still?
So the refresh is not here on the 60. You're gonna see the refresh on the 4 hour.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Yeah. So if you can go up to the 4 hour, yeah. This is where you will see the indication. Oh, and this one is not clear, but this is where you will see it go up, pull back, go up.
Yeah.
Because you want to see that two-legged move up, right?
Yeah.
So that's where you would end up seeing it, saying, okay, there's my
Right.
refresh coming in.
Okay. Okay. But then from the top, we're looking at, okay, we're going in detail or in depth inside that refresh and saying, if this is my refresh on the 4 hours, for example, then let me go to the time frame lower to see where that last buyer gets taken out. And
Yeah. So you see, like, you might look at this as, okay, that's a refresh, right?
yeah,
Goes up, holds, goes up, right?
yeah,
So you have to look at it this way. If the market goes down full speed and then it goes up, you can hit the sell, no problem.
Mm.
Okay. But if the market goes down and then it does this, it is a refresh, but you're going to have to change time frames. Because what happened is this on the way down didn't die. This on the way down died.
Mm.
So, for example, down, still alive, you can hit that sell. You just have to change the time frame to find out the legs, because we cannot see any legs on the pullback.
Sure.
Okay, so then we would say still alive, still sell, and then chop, 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 stop the selling.
Mm.
But it's a refresh now, right?
Yeah.
But when we say stop the selling, does it mean the downtrend is over?
No.
No, that just means this time frame is over.
Mm.
So we would say, okay, stop the selling. Can you put a vertical line here, Yash? Yeah, and can you move to the daily now? Okay, so before we came to the daily, the 4 hour basically said there's an issue. But when you look at the daily, is he dead?
No.
No. So what's happening is the higher time frame might be doing legs. right? But
Yeah.
this leg to happen to go down and to go up, which means still sell it.
Yeah.
The lower time frame might be doing this from here.
All right.
So the lower time frame tells you there is a resistance here. Don't sell that. The lower time frame might tell you there's a resistance here. Don't sell that, because this one is here somewhere. So when the lower time frame that you're looking at builds some kind of a range and then goes up, we have to basically say we've lost this time frame. This time frame is gone.
Right.
The momentum is gone. The pullback might come deeper. How much deeper? We just look to the guy who's still alive and saying, oh, let's monitor this area. So you have to begin to use his levels now.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
So for example, this one, sharp downtrend, right?
Yeah.
And then you see what happens here?
A hold.
It comes down, comes down. It's like a trap, like can't come down, pop.
Yeah.
Right? So when he does can't come down, pop, we say, oh, poor daily, he's gone. Right? So can you bring this vertical line here, Yash?
Okay.
Now, I don't know if I should continue selling from here, continue selling from there, or if I'm supposed to be a buyer. I have no idea. But let's go to the one time frame higher, weekly, and confirm, are they dead also? And when you see the weekly until the horizontal vertical line, do they look dead or do they look strong?
Strong.
Strong. So then we say, I have to use his level, and his level is here.
Right.
So when he gets up to that level, you can then analyze it saying, oh, okay, I got a refresh coming up to this area. But if you want to see the detail of that refresh, you can play it. And it's very tough to see it here. I'm going to go to the daily and read it. And then you can do the whole, take the last guy out, give me a range, give me a break, give me a test. You can do all of that stuff. But on this time frame, it'll be primary, secondary, launch. Or it'll just touch and leave. Because normally these things just touch and leave. You know, they just on the way up, pull back, touch, leave, pull back, touch, leave, touch, leave. These are the legs.
Right.
But within those legs, we can say, if they're making legs, that means they're still going, they're still healthy.
Yeah.
On a lower time frame, we're like,
there must be a
let
build-up.
the pullback come in, we'll buy it again.
Right.
So when this thing comes down very aggressively like this, I'm aware of this, but I'm aware they didn't die. It's just come down, come up sharply. But when I see a hold and then goes up, it's like, not only are they trapped, they're also dead. We lost this time frame. And then if we say, oh, but monthly, there's a support resistance here. Yeah, we will sell this, but when the sell's not working, we're going to get trapped.
Yeah.
And then that thing goes up like, okay, looks like we're switching directions altogether now. This is officially dying, this area. It's forced to die because it didn't, whether you say it didn't die anywhere else, it would die here because of the chop.
Yeah.
That chop would make it die.
Right.
So this, not dead. Sell it again. This, dead on the way up. So this, not dead. Sell it again, no problem, don't be scared. Even though it's coming higher than the guy who started it, it's a sell. Hit the sell, you'll be fine.
Right.
Just be aware that when you're hitting the sell, maybe they're trapped here. So the target will be limited.
But if it holds before the last guy, then it's dead. So if it does this and then holds over here before the last guy, then it's dead.
If it holds and pops the wrong direction, then it's dead.
Okay.
It's like this. let me show you. If it does this and then it does sideways and pops down, there nothing's dead. It's normal. But
Right.
if it does that, this pops down and then it goes up, that's dead.
That's it. Okay.
That's dead. Then we say, oh no, we need to switch the time frame and find out what's going on.
Okay. So so you know how we were talking about in the past, we said, okay, we have a move down coming down, and then if you have a move up, that's fine. It can still go down.
Yeah.
And then after the move up, if it begins to say hold for a while or even a bit more, and then it goes up, then we have a refresh.
You have a refresh as long as he is still alive. He needs to be alive. So on this time frame, that hold will kill this time frame, but as long as you have a support resistance from a higher time frame saying no problem, we still want to sell it,
Okay.
it'll work. Then you'll get a primary bounce, secondary launch.
I see what you mean. So the higher time frame, so the higher time frame, let's say this is the 4 hours, and if we see this, we say, okay, we have a problem on the 4 hours because of this hold. However, if we go to the, let's say, daily, and the daily shows us that this whole piece is like that, which is still part of some sort of an underside level.
Yeah. Just by discussing that, sometimes you realize only one key thing by looking at the daily. This level might be here and the daily doesn't see that. The daily only sees the next one. So then you would say, I know it's a refresh, but I want to do the work then on the level a little bit higher.
Right.
So then you would say, I want to ignore this level because I don't think that's going to hold.
Sure. And that will explain why they go deeper and higher.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Correct. And the deeper and higher means you're at least away from this trap a little bit more.
Yeah.
Which is better for us anyways, because then we can target to that trap and saying trade number one, or I'm done. That's more than enough.
Perfect. Perfect. And what we are, let's say, for example, if it does go that high, which is it's respecting the daily level. And so we're saying this piece over here, when we go to the lower time frame where we can see the last buyer, we're trying to take out that last buyer, the way Yash was showing on his Aussie Swiss.
Yeah, we can go, we can find out what time frame this belongs to and play within it. I have to show you an example of that. I was gonna say we can look at this Aussie Swiss from a monthly, but I think you don't remember Aussie Swiss as much as the rest of the guys do because you were half asleep all throughout Malaysia.
Actually, but I do, because I was with you when you were trading it, so I remember that big range on the higher time frame. Yeah. Which.
Okay, so then remove this thing.
And I'll tell you which one it is. It's this piece. Yeah.
So now, context.
So I was awake, even though I was half asleep. I was awake.
Yeah. Okay, so look at this. Context is down.
Yes.
Right. So it's a downtrend.
Yeah.
And then from this lowest point, did we ever lose the monthly?
When you say lose the monthly, yes. From this lowest point, we have a move up and then a hold. And then a pop up. So we have a refresh, but then we have a hold that
no, just answer the question. Don't go ahead too much. Just, did you lose the monthly at this point?
When you say lose the monthly, what do you mean?
This is exactly what you just said. A hold and a pop.
Yes, so we lost the monthly.
Yeah, so a hold on a pop, the refresh word that you're basically looking for
Yeah.
is anything that's sort of like it's going down. Ooh, super fast, no problem. Ooh, super slow, pop, we lost the monthly.
Mm.
In this case, you already have it here. You lost the monthly. Okay,
Yeah.
so when you lose the monthly, even though it's a downtrend, you know that we're gonna have to sell eventually. I don't know, do I sell here? Do I sell there? Do I sell here? Do I sell there? Do I sell here? There? I have no idea. So
Yeah.
then I'm forced to see, well, from weekly to monthly, how many months is that?
Wages monthly.
How
How
many
many weeks? 4.
4.
4
So
weeks.
then to go from monthly, what's the next one up?
Yeah.
4 months, 5 months, all right, something in
Yeah.
that caliber. Okay,
Yeah.
take it up to 4 months. Let's have a look. Now the 4-month guy, he says, I'm not done. Can you zoom in a lot more? Yeah. So the 4-month guy at that area where we lost our weekly or something somewhere here,
Yeah.
the monthly guy, sorry, he's like, I'm not done at all. I'm still healthy.
Mm.
There's no range anywhere. So when we go up through him, the next area is him, that resistance.
Yeah.
You see? Now there's that resistance, but as it comes to that resistance, can you read the legs?
No.
So we say the anchor is 4 months, but I must go down to read this. So now I go back to the monthly. But at least now I know I have reached an area that really wants to do the sell again. Let's go back to the monthly to confirm, will it do the sell? So now we're at the monthly, we're like, okay, this I can understand. And this happens to be at a very good level. I will process this refresh in the way I understand, which means I need to take out this guy. And then as I'm taking out this guy, I would prefer to have a range near him if I can. Break. So whoever was in the buy side, he quit. Right? So now the legs will begin again. So it's like underside test, hit the cells, leg, leg, leg. The legs will continue again.
Right.
This format.
Right. Okay.
Where you can't read the difference. It just does leg, 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 you know.
Yeah. So your last buyer becomes the same refresh in this case, which is this piece over here.
Correct. So in that context, a refresh can be processed. Now, whether you get a leg 3 or not determines if you're not at a level yet.
Mm.
That's why we say to avoid getting stuck in a leg 3, we try to work on killing that guy. If we can kill the last guy who started it, then the chances of having a next leg up almost disappears. Yeah, so far so good. Makes sense?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So that was the whole game that we were trying to do is when this thing, we found out that, okay, he's ranging near him and he did this and then he came higher and probed it. I thought that probe would return immediately.
Mm.
It wouldn't hang out.
Yeah.
Obviously, I couldn't wait another month in Kuala Lumpur to get the trade going again. That would be 3 months in that hotel just waiting.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
So just to recap our understanding of a refresh, how the in this case how the primary over here comes back to the trap area over here, and all that is the same as what we know. Yeah, the 2 secondaries. That's the first one over here, the second one over here. However, what we're saying is, if we look at it from a higher time frame, let's say one time frame higher, just to see where it needs to go, which level above will stop it, then that will help us with the idea that, okay, how deep it may go. That's the first thing.
Uh-huh.
And then who would be responsible to hit it back and take out the last buyer. In this case, it's that one. Who would do that before we say, okay, yeah, it's all dead and cells are now ready to take over. But you've shown us at the same time how to trade all these in the meantime. So we'll have to say flip through the higher time frame to understand one piece, but then also come back to this time frame and say, okay, but we need to trade this, and that's how we trade it based on what we know from the past. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. So you can see here, this is active full speed, right?
Yeah.
But you know that there's a refresh there. You can see it.
Yeah.
It's still for selling, that refresh.
Right.
So to a lower time frame, it looks like, oh, my cells are not working. It's pulling back in deep. But the higher time frame saying, hey, I'm still healthy. Come to my level, either underside or equal, and I'm going to hit it again.
Yeah. And this would be, if I'm putting the pieces together correctly, this would be, let's say, on a smaller time frame, it would one time frame lower, it would be the move down and some sort of a refresh coming back into that level over here. Is that correct?
Yeah. So yes, do this. Can you put a horizontal line there or array?
Okay.
Yeah, and then put a replay right there.
Or was it here?
Here.
Okay.
And then let's change this to the weekly. It's exactly how you drew it, right?
Yeah.
So weekly, did we lose the weekly?
Yes.
Yeah. So we lost the weekly, which means refresh, which means you've invited a buyer. But that buyer is a small guy compared to the monthly saying, come, so I can smack you. Like, he's like those older brothers that's like, come here. So as it comes up, we don't know if it's going to come to this level, that level, but then the higher time frame can give us a little bit more clarity of like, this is the area we're going to come to. Yeah, and then when he comes up like this, and then it chops in this area and comes back down. Did we lose the weekly?
No.
On the way up?
On the way up, yes.
Yeah, when it chops and comes down, we're like, oh, okay, we lost the weekly. If I go to the monthly basically says strong down and up. Is there anything to hold it on the way back down?
No. It's
It
gonna
will
slide.
return.
Okay.
And that's how it slides down or makes a new low, because there's nothing there.
Yeah.
So we say the minimum is recent low.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah.
So, but this processing time, the primary/secondary, primary basically means go down, let the buyer try, and let the buyer also lose his energy, fizzle out.
Yeah.
And when that fizzles out and the cell is going, we then say, okay, he's done. So higher time frame says, I don't even recognize this at all.
Yeah.
So when he comes down, you can say, either I can sell from the top, which is maybe a little bit risky, or you can say, I can even sell it once I have the range, take this guy out, and I do the first test sell from a smaller time frame. So it's a brand new sell after a full confirmation of a sell, and then I ride that. You can do that, which is the on-market part, right?
Yeah.
So if you do the on-market part, then it's like, okay, everything is done. Just make sure you get in, because the on-market part, once it goes down, the lower time frame over here will do this. And the energy is gone. And when the pullback is coming in for this green candle here, you will say, I have to look one time frame higher. When you look one time frame higher, this is the SNR, the underside test.
Yeah.
And that when it comes up, it will be your refresh trying to go down again. So that will be a trade within a launch, basically.
Mm.
Those are the easiest trades to do because they have the most energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Naveen, in this case, if we have a look at just that piece where we say we have a move up, we have a hold, and then we have a refresh, assuming that this is the last. She smiles. Assuming that this is that move up, hold, and then that move, and this is the last leg up, and not that. Then we say to fully confirm, yes, it's all done. The buyers are done. We need this buyer to get taken out. That's the idea, just like how we said earlier.
Yeah, but I can go even more advanced for you if you like.
Sure, please.
Yeah. So if the line is here, the line that you figured out, that's the main resistance.
Yeah.
If it goes up like this, then it's like, okay, take that guy out, because by taking that guy out, you're still high.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And you cannot do any early sells here because someone will hit the buy again.
Yes.
Okay. So that one's okay. You take the guy out, you do everything, and your entry will be somewhere here, and you have all this space.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just going to change it a little bit. If it's here and it pulls back like this, you know you're at the level, but to take this guy out, it's very far away.
Very far.
At that time, involve one more time frame. Go down one more time and see, is this one full speed or is it looking like this, where it's choppy? If it's choppy and the energy is gone there, then take that one. Because then you can start that and saying, if the energy is done, I have to go up a time frame and he says my level is here, so you can sell to there. And then over there, it might range, it might do whatever, and then test and next trade.
Yeah. That
and
makes
that's
sense.
how you get a trade early.
Yeah. So just if I was to repeat that, we're saying if we have, say, a move going up, and then of course it's in few legs, then, or let's say even that, then we say, all right, our last buyer is pretty close. It's good. Just give us some sort of a challenge to the last buyer and a hold, then that would be it. However, if
wait, let me just do it like this.
Yeah.
Let me just remove this piece here. Did it remove it? Oh, I can remove mine. Can you hit undo once on yours?
Yeah.
Okay. If the price does this, is the buyer still alive?
the buyer is still alive.
Yeah, don't forget that.
Yeah.
Even if it does a strong V formation, until you don't get the squiggly chop, just remember they're going to try again from their levels. So even if it's this level, they're going to try again. Only when it does this, and then that pops, only then you can say, now it's confirmed, whatever this nonsense was, it died near our area. We like that. So basically you want them to come full speed and then they quit at the gate, you know? Yeah. And because it's like they're coming in to fight you and then they see you and they're like, you know what, never mind. It's like, this guy is too muscular, I'm going back.
However, if say it comes in this way, where it goes up, comes down, or holds, and then it pops up, but the last leg is so big, then on this time frame, we say, well, we can't do much if this last buyer is so far away.
Yes.
However, we would have to go to it, let's say one time frame lower than this time frame, and
Yes.
we will see that last leg. If I draw it over here, we will see
Yeah.
that if we see that last leg, let's say it does this, and then it's got more buyers to it.
Yeah, it's got more subdivisions in it, right?
Yeah.
But if the last leg, you open it and it's like this, it's all green.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Go back to this time frame and wait.
For maybe it develops on the same time frame.
Yeah, maybe the line is here and he just does one more leg near that line, because our line is not perfect. Also, it could be approximate there, right?
Yeah.
So it's like maybe he'll do one more small leg and it's like, okay, perfect, thanks. You know.
Yeah.
Then we like it. We're happy with that.
Sure. So it does come back to the same concept you're talking about earlier, that look at where your levels are. Let's say if you have this move down, and that's your level, then if prices come back to that level, then we know that, okay, that's good, they're going to hit it, and this time frame hasn't lost it, it's still got it, but we know that one time frame lower will have that refresh. And then we simply have to look at the legs for that time frame, for the refresh time frame, and the rest is what you explained.
And all your knowledge comes in addition to this. It's how are the legs on the way down? Are they still looking healthy? Is there a volume on the pumps? Is there a volume towards the top and not towards the bottom? All that also still applies.
Yes.
This is just more of a technical analysis thing, where to put your focus on.
Yeah, I think they're all excited. Yeah.
Yeah, with the dog.
Yeah.
Maybe we should change the dog to something else.
I don't think it's yeah. That's really helpful. I mean, not the Superman, but what you explained.
Huh?
It's really helpful. What you explained. That's
okay.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. No worries. Makes sense for you, Yash, also?
Yeah, I like going over it again and again and again. Makes more and more sense.
Yeah, it's good. It will help solidify where am I supposed to do the trades.
Yeah, once I'm dreaming about it, then I know I got it.
Yeah. Yeah. So did we, when this pullback comes in to do this nice sell, did we lose the weekly?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's put a line here and saying, okay, let's check out the monthly, see what they have to say about this. And now we come to the monthly. Where's the line? Yeah. Monthly says underside of this, or there. But does it look like a downtrend? No, we lost the monthly here earlier. So we say, I don't know if I can use the monthly levels. The monthly is dead.
Yeah.
So then 4 months. Let's go to the 4 months and see, is his trend still alive? It's still alive. It hasn't range popped to the upside. 4 months says, do your business from there. So that's the area where you want to play the bounces from, but from a lower time frame, because we can read the lower turn as best as possible.
Maybe on the 4 months, would you see it as a move up, hold, or range, and then a breakdown? Is that how you're seeing it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just resumed the range and then it went downwards.
Went down.
Because I can, in this context, it's like, wow, that range is super old. I don't like those.
Yeah.
You know, if it's like few candles, it's okay. But when you have like 8 candles, then even the slightest higher high, I get scared. Especially this is 4 months. That slightest higher high could be 1 month long. Right? Which would make me think, okay, we lost the 4 months. Like,
Yeah, makes sense.
yeah. Then I would be like, oh, well, if we're going to come up to here, I might as well buy now, and then all the wrong trades will happen. Make sense? Make sense?
100%. I think that was a bit confused about, okay, how do I put it together? But that really helps. Really helps.
I remember I have some interesting trades from a while ago where I was like having a lucky streak. And I think I was like kind of doing something similar to what we're doing now, but I didn't know. So it would be nice if we could look at those and just like see if they were right or wrong. And
Yeah. Let's have a look at this.
okay. Is it okay if I switch to my Windows laptop? That I stored them over there.
No, that's not okay.
Please.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. Okay,
Yeah,
I'll be back now.
I'll switch to this side as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So these trades on the USD Swiss. At the time when I was doing them, the education I had was just that I'm seeing like a primary and this is struggling. So I thought it's going to make a secondary at the top of the range. So that's as far as my analysis went. But now looking at it, I can see there's a real.
Wait, I don't know if it's on my end, but your voice went a little robotic.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see.
Are you on a Windows?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Am I understandable?
Yeah. Now it's clear.
Okay, so sorry about that.
No worries. Okay, what are we looking at here? So USD Swiss. Yeah, so it's very old, right? This range.
Yes.
Yeah. When it's old like that, we don't know if the momentum's still alive or not.
Okay. But this one, I was wondering now, since I can see there's like a high volume up here.
Yeah.
If I may have been trading a slip and slide because they stopped pumping. Is it okay to look at it in that perspective as a day trading way?
I would prefer you get someone pumping in your direction rather than stop the pumping. Because yeah, the slip and slide will work. And the location is good because you're at least at the top of the range. But how do we know for certain this? If it will start here, start there, start here, start there. It's very difficult. Like, will it start on the underside? Will it start in the middle of this? Will it start at the top of that candle?
Yeah.
That becomes difficult a little bit.
Okay.
But unless you track this very carefully from a lower time frame, then maybe. But it's still, the overall structure is like they didn't go from here, they didn't go from here or here or here, and now they go.
Okay.
So that's the problem with ranges. It's very hard to tell.
Okay, so that one I'll mark down as not good because of it's old, first of all.
Yeah.
And secondly, the demand is not in my favor. It's more trading a lack of demand.
Yeah.
Okay. This one. Okay, the 1 hour doesn't really own this. I think I was just going off this, trying to pull it back and sell. This one, okay, this one has a higher time frame owner because the 1 hour fizzled.
And 4 hour fizzled also.
Okay. Daily screenshot for this one. Okay, so this one didn't.
But the daily should be easy if you open up your trading view.
Oh yeah.
This is on what, January 3rd? Yeah, January 3rd daily. Should be very easy to find. Where are you going? This is
2021.
this is oh, it's from 2021 or 22?
21.
I
This
thought it
is
was
2 years.
2.
Was it 2?
I think it's 2.
I don't think you were here 2 years ago, were you?
It was just after I joined the team.
So it should be 22.
Oh yeah. 22. Hope it messed up everything. I don't know what happened anymore.
Yeah. Okay, so where is it? 3rd, yeah. So these guys are saying you'll have to trade underside of that.
Okay, so they're alive even though it looks like very toppy on the way down.
Yeah, but even look at this. Is this daily in a trend or is the daily also dead?
Oh yeah, that one died. As well.
That's how
Okay.
sometimes when you look at a range, you're like, I don't know if it's a buyer or a seller. Everything is dead both ways.
Yeah. Okay, this one daily did. Okay, so who is the owner here? Coming in an uptrend, so I must think of the buyer first. And the buyer fizzles in this area and pops, so I need to go to a 4 hour.
Yeah, because it's overall uptrend, right?
Yeah. Okay, the 4 hour, we had a range and then he popped, so it's a fresh buyer. And then he comes down, so the buyer is still alive.
Buyer's
And
still
then
alive. Yeah. That seems
struggles.
to be buyer's area, right?
Yeah. And then he struggles in this zone. Oh, okay, and I was trying to think that his struggle is going to get to end. So it's wrong direction again.
Yeah, because it was trying to buy. That's a basically it's a correct trade to they're basically trapped. The safer trade would be on the underside of this.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's a buy. They will definitely buy that. We would have bought that.
Okay.
But just for a quick glance, if I go back, see
Overall
that?
down. Yeah.
So whenever you're coming fresh out of something, just make sure that you are not at something that is saying sell it again,
Okay.
because that could happen. Okay, so this is this one where oh.
Doesn't look good.
But yeah, so this one is this, then da, 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 and here. So you've lost even the daily. The 4 hour was really wide. Daily, you've lost them too. Now, if you look at this from one more time frame higher weekly, you'll probably find your level now. Okay.
Also lost the weekly.
Yeah, because this cell is still on, but I think it's in the context of the buy. You see, sometimes it's like, is this a seller? It looks strong, but then he didn't quit on the way up.
Oh, sorry. Why did that happen?
So yeah, this guy's still strong on the way up. So then how can that happen? So it's a very confusing state. Ranges are always like, we don't know who's in control.
Okay. So when that's the case, there's no owner on the higher time frame. So could I go with that 4-hour buyer that came up fresh and say no one will interfere?
You can go with whatever this is. This is easier to read.
Okay.
So that would be monthly, because weekly also quit. Monthly is alive.
Okay.
Monthly is alive. We have an area there. We have an area here. Monthly is alive.
Okay, and the monthly, we can see the legs already, so
yeah,
it's hard to go down lower.
Then it starts making higher lows, consolidating, and then the pop. Very strong pop.
Okay, so that was way too early on the monthly. And it was the wrong direction as yeah.
Yeah, but if you've done the higher time frame research like this just one time, you would know that anything that we do on a 1 hour, 4 hour, it's to play in that range. And playing in that range is the worst place when they're processing, because that processing can get tighter and tighter and tighter before it starts to get ready to continue again. And sometimes the continue is, oh, we lost a monthly. We don't know it's gonna for sure buy. That's why it's like, let him buy, and then we say it's on market, and then like, give me that first test, sucker, and then we get that buy, and we do that, and then we say leg, here we go, you know. So it's like this, when this whole movement pulled back, big consolidation, right? And when it popped, give me that first pullback, you get that buy, leg, like you get these launches coming out of the area.
Yeah.
That's the easy money, the where, whatever you try to predict, 99% should be correct.
Okay.
But you do any predictions in this mess, it's a 50-50 coin toss. You might be right, you might be wrong, you know. So you want to operate in a non-randomness.
Okay.
Yeah, look at this one. After the consolidation, leg, 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 leg. It's clean.
Yeah. So it's very important to have an owner that's on, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me go to another one. Oh, this one as well. It seems like, okay, I think I'm noticing a pattern that I was trading lack of demand instead of, I was trying to trade slip and slides, which is a bit dangerous. Okay, but the 4 hour is not the owner. Do I have a daily? Okay, we lost the daily as well.
Yeah, so you're trading a refresh sell here, but you lost the daily.
Okay. Did I lose the weekly?
Yeah, so the sell can work. It's just you need to know, make sure your Yeah, your weekly supports that view. Yeah, your weekly supports it. That sell is okay.
Okay.
It's telling you do it. The weekly is not dead. Your daily is dead, but the weekly is not dead. That means you can trade that daily refresh.
Okay.
But you did it from a 4-hour, right?
Yeah.
So look at your daily first. Just hit the back button once. Yeah. On your daily, you have one leg up, 2 legs up to the level, right? Now,
Yeah.
Ali, this is for you. The second leg up, is it bigger or smaller?
Bigger.
Bigger. Let's open that second leg in the 4-hour time frame and let's see, is it subdivided?
No.
No. Like, wait.
It becomes subdivided once it pulls back
wait,
and then.
you switched so many screens, I got lost where we were. Where
Oh, sorry.
Pulling back from, hold on.
Back on daily. Okay, I'll tell you to.
Okay, so it starts from whatever this lower low point is, and then it goes up. Okay, find me that lower low on the 4-hour. Let's open that one. Yep. Lower low, it's here. This is where it begins. Here. So it goes up, holds, up, holds, up.
Yeah.
But if you're playing it from the 4-hour, you have to kill that guy. It's still very far away from your resistance. So where you played it from was even you went and you opened up this 4-hour into a 60.
Okay, but that's allowed because there's so much space, right?
If you have space, you have volume, because you're already at the level. So if you're at the level, it's like, let me see, as long as I have open space, let me see. So go check the 60 now.
Okay,
I was gonna ask you if say we're already at the level and it's still having strong, not broken legs, then we've gone one time frame lower. Should we stick with that? Is that the safest, or we can still go another time frame lower to see the broken legs?
So for example, let's say you go to the 60, right?
Yeah.
And then a 60 is doing this, it's subdivided at the top, and then they fail. If they fail and you, let's say, enter here, imagine it's an uptrend and the 60 failed. We'd say, go to the 4-hour, see if they still want to buy it. You come here on the 4-hour, like, of course they want to buy it, but from here. So then you'd say, okay, that level is there, do the sell. We can get it to there. No one's going to interfere. None of these guys are going to mess with us. That's when we say there's open space, because we're not doing it to trade the 60. We're doing it. There's somebody here that we're trusting. And that's why it's churning most likely.
Yeah.
So we're trying to have faith in the churn at the level, you know.
Especially that level is higher time frame, so it gives more importance.
Yeah. So now try it from 60. Ooh.
So
what you've been trading, man.
Yeah.
you traded the buyer's inability.
Yeah. No one was taken out. Okay.
Yeah, this is counter trend trading, but yeah, high volume buyer and then no follow through.
Okay.
Yeah, this is exactly where someone would buy from, because this is like pull back right before it gets taken out. The guy who started it, give me a test. That's a buy area actually.
Oh yeah. I don't know how that trade survived.
It survived because you're at a sell level.
Okay. Oh, so I must pay attention to that in future. I mustn't buy like that if I'm at a sell level.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
why the higher time frames, it's very important to be like, make sure you're not in an area, because then the volume that you see thinking it's a buy, it will be the buy is up here to sell.
Yeah.
But if you don't know that ahead of time, you have to check it and do your preparation before getting ready to trade this design.
Okay.
Because then if this buy fails, then you're like, yes, that means the big level is holding and this level is yours. It's transferred for the sell side.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a lucky trade.
I don't know what I was doing back in the day.
Mhm.
I feel a bit better though about what I'm doing now. There's more logic to my trading nowadays.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That was 2021.
Okay, 1 hour doesn't own this either because it
Yeah, but
smashed
that's okay.
out.
This looks good. I like this one. So, what do you think about this one, Ali?
Uh, so yeah, from this point, you mean? Yeah, this point it goes up, but then it ends up to be a sideway before it pops up.
Yeah, so it's a refresh, but then we lost the 60.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's check the 4 hours and see, but it's overall downtrend. Let's see what they have to say.
Yeah, but before we check the higher time frame, we can see that the refresh towards the top, it's pretty bad the way it's going up.
It doesn't matter. We don't know that at that time. All we know is before it pulls back. Oh. Yeah. All right. Before it pulls back, it dies fully, and then it pops. Even just one candle is enough to say, pour 60, it's gone. Right? Even if you have 3 candles sideways and then it pops up and closes higher, gone. Otherwise, the momentum is down. Whoa, okay, down, no problem. No problem. No problem. But any hold and goes up, it's like, ah, crap, it's over. So I would say it's over here. We lost the 60 there.
Oh, even there. Okay.
What do you mean? That one, and then the pop up?
Yep, because that I can see is an area they would sell from. It's an inability to go down, and it spends 1 hour in that area trying to go down. Doesn't work, goes up. I would say, okay, one leg down big, second leg down small, inability to sell trap, it's over. It's over. So now from that moment, let's take a look at the 4 hours. Okay, now on the 4 hours, if we take a look at it from here, ooh,
Gone.
gone.
Yeah.
So the daily llama.
Daily llama.
Okay, yeah, the daily says you can sell. Now, from the daily's perspective, you can sell SNR. So that area turns out to be okay. You have that part, and then you have this area to sell also too.
Okay.
Because the daily is still alive. Okay, so you sold from the first SNR here, and it worked.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So I sold when the wick came down and it came back.
You sold on
Before.
this bar, right? The second bar.
Yeah. I think it was somewhere up here on the way down.
Can you open one up like in this part of the screen so we can see it side by side?
Windows.
This is the 15 though.
Here's the 1 hour.
Oh, okay. You sold in, can you,
Zoom in.
no, go back. You sold after the word December.
Yeah.
You sold on this green candle.
Or did I get the date wrong?
Yeah, I think you sold on that green candle because look at this.
Oh, but I
After
think on
all
the
of this,
daily.
after all of this, you see that lower low?
Yeah.
That lower low is that guy.
Oh, no, I think this is December 1st, 2nd, or 3rd, but here it's December 6th. So I think it's this region.
So the lower low is that guy then?
Yeah, it was, yeah, down here.
So where did you trade then? Open up the 4 hours. It's like, okay, let's see the 4 hour area. Okay. Imagine how all of us trained in the past without technology, man. Oh my God. I used to do all this candle by candle. It used to drive me nuts.
Oh,
Okay, where are we? Yeah, looks like you traded on this wick to this wick, and then you sold in that, right? Because it looks like that's
yeah.
the wick down, wick up, and then you sold on the way down on that wick. Yeah, that's the one. The green candle next to it is this little bar.
Is that too soon? Should I have waited for the candle to close before the pullback comes in?
No, because he came all the way up to the resistance.
Okay, the guy who started it area. Okay.
Yeah, that's okay. He came all the way up. So you basically traded off of that level. So now if you're trading off of that level, whether it's from a 4 hour or especially daily, can you see on the 4 hour the legs?
No.
So how would we do it then?
So we check one lower.
Yeah, go to the 60 then. Okay, and the 60, now what?
Now I see legs. This guy needs to be taken out. He's taken out, consolidation, pop. But I didn't wait for the probe.
Okay, so let's take a look closely. Look how it happens, the movement. Once it gets taken out and he comes down hard, that area, think about it. Is the buyer dead? What makes the buyer dead?
The struggle.
Struggle. So he's got the struggle now, and then when it pops to the downside, we know the buyer's dead, and we know the buyer's not going to interfere because the 60 says, I'm done. I have to check Mr. 4 hours. And Mr. 4 hours says, I'm not going to mess with you until this area.
Yeah.
So you have that open space. So it's like, if it's on its way down, you're like, come on, give me my first pullback so I can do the sell off of there. So you don't have to take the breakout, but you can say, come back to my trap so I can smash it, you know?
Yeah.
So then you take that sell and you say, let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. It's slowing down. I'm out.
Okay.
In this case, the fact that we didn't get it, so we won't have an entry. Oh, we do have a test.
There is that test there.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
That's the best it comes, which would be, you have a 15 on this?
Yes.
Okay, let's have a look at the 15. See how they test back to that area.
It's very fast.
Yeah, and why is it fast and not in legs?
It's because it's an on market for the sells. So
No.
he's gonna run.
Look at this. Did the 15 die before coming back to test?
Oh, he didn't die.
It didn't die. So anything that comes up is enough. So it won't be 15. Go down to the 5. Take a look at who died before coming up to test.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's making sense.
How about this?
This one did die.
He died,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So then he said, okay, if he died, then I need to go to use my 5, but look at it from the 15 and saying, where's my next level? 15 says my level is here. But then you can use the 5 and be like, I don't see any legs here. You can use the 1 to see, come on, get me the bloody legs up. So I can read it, and you can make that a trade, basically a 15, 5, 1. You can turn that into a trade.
Okay.
We now got a silly question,
Yeah.
which is if you have this move down and then it goes up, and this is simply coming down, creating a very tiny lower low, very tiny.
Don't count it like that.
Okay.
It's the energy is lost. It's like this. The energy is lost before coming up. Otherwise, we would trust the sell. It's the idea of the energy is gone. Because look, this is one candle up. How many to do that same distance approximately down? Right? Energy is gone. So it's like, if this sell is so strong, how did it take 5 candles to do what one green bar did? So when we see the energy is lost, and following the loss of energy, buyer comes stronger again, like, oh, it's dead. Here also, dead. So whenever you feel the energy is lost, try to say, it's okay, I don't want to sell low anyways. Let me see if I can get a price higher. Even better. It's better to be safe anyways.
Yeah.
Right? Because otherwise that's going to be a 1% pullback, you know, if you're going to do a SNR sell from here. Right? 0.5% pullback.
Exactly.
So no point.
I wonder if I have a 1 minute. There's no 1 minute. I can't see the precise entry.
Oh, here's a 5. The 5, you can see it. I can see the 1 here. Look, do you see the wick up?
Yeah, so that's a
Up and
leg.
down. Small bar there, sideways there. See, it goes candle, candle. What is a candle,
Yeah.
candle? Candle,
It's a
candle is
struggle.
up, down. That's a candle, candle. So if you break
Okay.
the candle, candle, that's the first notion of, here we go.
Okay.
And a test here as well. That one.
That little test there, yeah. Like
Yeah.
you can go as deep as you want, but you know, there comes a point where you have to be like, test of a test of a test of a test. It's gonna go.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get away from. I love doing the test of a test.
Yeah, especially the time frame is so low. Even if you take the test of the test, what are you going to do? Put a 0.5 pip stop loss? We can't. We will be forced to put it this far anyways because the spread. So then it's like, we don't need to do a test of test. Just get in. Who cares?
Okay. As soon as we get the struggle and the pop.
The struggle. Yeah. So if you're coming up for a test and you get some kind of a struggle, that's it. That's the final piece. The struggle means the energy is gone again, and he's going to go.
Okay. Yeah, thanks. I learned a lot from today.
Even this would be a nice sell here with the stop loss just there. But your 4-hour level is very close now. So where you entered is still better.
Oh, but okay. I didn't
Because
realize I
4 hours
could have got
alive, right?
probed. Yeah. I entered even before on the
Yeah,
first breaker.
that's okay. But the area where it tested is where you're supposed to actually get in.
Okay.
So you see how your refresh fits into the story of who's in control and stuff like that. So a refresh helps just understand that, let me get a buyer in, let me take the buyer's money, let me sell it, you know.
Yeah.
That all that logic is normal, it's necessary.
But then where does that refresh buyer go up to before it slows down? it's the time, it's the time frame higher that has the level.
Yeah.
But then Naveen, when you know how we would say in the past that the time frame that brings the refresh is our owner. Is that still the case, or is it now one time frame higher where the level
Well,
is?
I would say the owner is where you can read the legs. Because from there, we might even go one more down for the test, right?
Yeah.
So at least call the one with the legs the owner. Because the one above where we just draw the level, we're there for like 5 seconds. We just put the level and then we never use that time frame ever again. Right? So we're mostly on the one with the legs. Cool.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah. Cool, man. All right then, guys. Get some rest.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time.
Yeah, no worries. We will catch up then mañana.
Take care.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, Ali.
Bye-bye.
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 Bye-bye.